Thanks, Arsenal. So either I'm getting on a plane to Barcelona or I'm watching the Wimbledon final when all the Gyokeres news likes to drop. But guys, let's be happy. If I wasn't holding the camera right now, I'd be doing the Bane celebration, which I just had to be taught it was Bane. Anyway, Arsenal signing Victor Gyökeres, guys. David Ornstein and Hand of Arsenal coming through. It is happening. Arsenal on the verge of completing a deal, agreeing a deal, completing the signing of Victor Gyökeres. Of course, he'll have to fly in, he'll have to do the medical, he'll have to do all that. But you know what? This is why I was so apprehensive about making the video earlier today, where I said that it's been stalling and the president came out and said all this stuff. But I just thought there's another twist, surely. And I probably went too soon. I should have waited. But do you know what it was? We made the point in that video, pointed out by others, may I say, I didn't spot this myself, that the same thing happened with Pedro Porro, where the day before he officially signed for Tottenham, everything coming out of the media, even David Ornstein reporting that the sporting president had gone back on his word, and Pedro Porro was devastated his move to Tottenham wasn't going to happen. Very much like that, Victor Gyökeres, who yesterday was subject to some pretty stern comments from the sporting president saying we're not going to be bullied. A day later, the deal is on the verge of being done, and Victor Gyokeres is going to be an Arsenal player, guys. I mean, we will talk about this guy in real detail with Ben Mattinson, and we'll talk about it in the podcast. We'll do breakdowns. We'll do stuff on AFTV. So we'll cover the player in real detail. As it's happening, and I might have said this in previous videos, so you know what? Switch off from repeating myself. God, normally YouTubers are telling you, like, subscribe, please watch the full video, but it's quite hard to keep track of everything I've said. So just one more time. The battle has been between Sesko and Gyökeres, because Isak is the guy who guarantees you goals and fits everything Arteta wants in a striker while being a prolific forward too. Isak isn't doable. So you've got Sesko, the guy who might get there in 2-3 years' time, but the guy whose numbers aren't as impressive, though as a facilitative player as well as a potential goal scorer in future. Someone who's got really raw technical ability, who can fit in tactically what Arteta does. Sesko is the better fit. But for the guy who needs to come in and hold the pressure of the Arsenal shirt, hold the pressure of being Arsenal starting number 9, as the Gunners bid to turn what's been 3 second-place finishes into finally not only a Premier League title, but actually silverware, for a guy who needs to take that pressure, who needs to wrestle a player like Havertz out of the 11, who's been a favourite of Mikel Arteta's, for a player who needs to come in and understand the assignment and understand what the fans are looking for right now for this point of the project, it is Victor Gyökeres. No, I don't think he's quite as technical as Benjamin Sesko. I don't know if in 2-3 years' time, we will look back on Sesko and say, why didn't we do that? But we're talking about today, and every signing we make has to be about helping today, literally in a week when they fly off to Singapore. And Victor Gyokeres is the striker that does that more. Now, the reason I was leaning towards Sesko is because of my frustration with what I've seen over the years and Arteta's perhaps lack of flexibility with what he wants from his 9. But if there was a situation in which Arteta was willing to adapt and actually play towards not Saka and Martinelli and Trossard all pick up the same amount of goals as his 9, but actually a way in which the 9 is going to lead the way with maybe 10 to 15 more goals than the other players around him. If we were going to play in a way that feeds to Gyökeres, then he was always the one to go for. And that's what Arsenal seem to be doing. Now, is that because that's who they always wanted, or is that because Leipzig are playing hardball? I don't know. The point is we're getting the striker that I think a lot of the fan base are very, very excited about. And even those who preferred Sesko, I think they're thinking, fair enough, you're getting the win now striker. And there's There's a ambition attached to that I think we all love. There's also coaching here. When you look at Gyökeres' kind of raw attributes, he's very fast, he's very strong, he's a bit of a brute, he's got a great mentality, he's a superb finisher. There's also a chance here that Arteta works with him to be more back to goal, to drop into the pockets a little bit more, to use his movement to take players out of the game, so that the likes of Martinelli and whoever we might sign, Madueke's coming in, Bukayo Saka, of course, are still going to feed off and get off goals fed from Gyökeres' movement, understanding of the tactics in the game. Because Arteta will never play a system to satisfy one player, but I did wonder whether he was going to adapt to ensure we were playing more to an out-and-out 9. as I'm literally recording, loads of sort of posts are coming in, but as far as I can see from the notifications on my phone, it's all the same stuff. We're on the brink of an agreement. Yeah, guys, I'm excited about this. I am, because whatever I think of the players, there's other things that are sort of less measurable. Like, what does it say to get the guy who wants to win today? What does it say? And by the way, I'm not saying Sesko doesn't, but who is ready to go, I am, like, give me the pressure. Like, put it on me. Who is kind of willing to go on strike for a move, who is very vocal about what he wants, who wants Arsenal. Everything in the media has been, this guy wants Arsenal. You know, I think the comments from Sesko's camp were, we're not going to bully a move, we're not going to throw our toys out the pram, which is commendable in some ways, but also there's something about the way Gyökeres wants us, you know? There's something about the way Gyökeres wants us, and there's something about his pure numbers, and there's something about the mentality he has shown. I mean, this is someone who scored goals in the Championship, guys. There's one thing Gyökeres has over Sesko, is that he's shown he can score goals in the Championship and in English football. And the Championship's no joke. It's a good level. If you compare it to a lot of European leagues, the Championship's a very good level, and he's shown he can score goals there. So again, Arsenal are getting someone who's shown he can score goals in England, who can play in a grueling English football schedule. Not saying other schedules aren't as grueling, but the Championship is particularly grueling. There'll be a lot of games we'll be playing for Arsenal. And he comes in at 27 years old, ready for that move. So I'm excited about it. Now, let me just recap something I said on the Madueke video, guys. I don't love the left winger market. Rodrigo's making it quite clear he wants to stay at Real Madrid. Whether that changes or not, I don't know, but Arsenal can't wait for that. If it's an opportunity, and you know, we've got 80 million swimming about to use, then fine. But Rodrigo doesn't want to go. I mean, Nico Williams, not even Barca and Bayern could get those deals done. He's actually signed a new deal at Bilbao. So I don't think we can be mad at the club for not doing that deal. Then you look at the rest of the window. I like Anthony Gordon. I like him. I think he's a very good player. But I don't love the left winger. But Semenyo, he's now signed a new deal. But is that the guy you all wanted? Lookman, good, very good player. But is that the guy you really wanted? Maybe not. But you know, I really wanted Eze in this team. A lot of people, though I was more 50-50 on it, really wanted Gyökeres in this team. I'm excited about that. And then you have Madueke, who can play on the left, but is going to cover for Bukayo Saka too. That, for me, is significantly strengthening your forward options. Madueke as a pure pace and ball carrier. Eze as, yes, a more central ball carrier, but someone who can make things happen centrally. By the way, Eze's not happened yet. I must keep stressing that. But the fact we want to add that type of player encourages me to. And if he's the left winger /10 we add, with Madueke and Gyökeres coming in, I'll be happy. And this is the kind of point I'm trying to make, everyone. Now we know it's Gyökeres. Now that we know Eze's a serious target, Madueke through the door. That's 2 out of 3 forwards added. We've added a striker and a winger already before we go on pre-season tour. And Eze would bring another winger /10. Look, I'm not saying everyone has to think it's perfect. I understand doubts around all those players. Madueke for the level he can get to, Gyökeres for whether his goals translate to this league, and Eze for whether he's actually an out-and-out winger, and actually are the funds going in the wrong place if you're going on a 10/inside forward as opposed to an out-and-out winger. But we're adding players, one with serious quality in this league, one with serious quality across Europe, and one with potential that I think, whatever you think of 50 million ago on Madueke, at least everyone can go, well, yeah, we agree there's potential there. So I think Arsenal are addressing their forward line very well, and I'm excited about it. But it is complete with that Eze deal, and if we do that, everything else will make so much more sense to me. So I'm really excited about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Arsenal on the brink of signing Victor Gyökeres, and the day we do, there'll be a video here as well.